Live on a sunny-ish and warm Thursday morning in Northeast Ohio. Welcome into a Bull and Fox edition of the Bullpen, brought to you by Bet Rivers. Hope everybody's doing well. Dustin, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Man, I'm doing very well. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. It's
You're
exciting
great?
time of the year. Lot going on. I'm busy. It's fun. I like being busy. I don't like, having nothing to do. It's boring. Somebody said to me,
I'm like gonna go golf again today.
yeah, I don't know. You live in the retired lifestyle, basically. You play tennis and golf every day.
Semi-retired.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like golf. I find golf very boring.
I'm just playing 9 holes.
Okay. With who?
Because I can't play tennis every day. I'm finding that if I do it every single day, I have to take a day or two off.
All right.
And so I'm gonna throw in a little golf. How about that?
Okay. Well, enjoy.
Thanks.
And if you're looking for a betting angle, check out the Top Picks news feed in your Bet Rivers app. The Bet Rivers banner news feed is filled with picks from Bet Rivers network personalities and more handicappers to give you expert insights. Tap the Top Picks icon in your Bet Rivers app to get the latest tip. Dustin and I will have tips up there today. I took my first L on Tuesday. Framber Valdez did not get his strikeout total, even though he pitched well. How'd you do on Tuesday?
We hit our pick. We had Terrence Ottman. And
all right.
that was a winner today. We just recorded the last one for Barcelona.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, I'm taking Arthur Feast minus 3.5 games. There you go.
All right.
Giving it to you early.
Good luck. There. It is possible, by the way. I don't know. I think this is a state by state thing, but to make prop bets on draft position and who will get drafted before or after this.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because there's so much like inside information that could be had in those scenarios that I think it's state by state for sure.
Yeah. But the draft is 1 week away from today. The only thing that feels like a sure thing is Fernando Mendoza going 1 overall. 3 different mock drafts came out yesterday. Field Yates put one out. Dane Brugler put another one out. And Mel Kiper put one out. They all had the Browns trading down from 6 to 12 with the Cowboys and then taking an offensive lineman at 12. We know the Browns love trading down as much as anyone. Obviously, it depends on who is available at 6. But what's your general feeling about the Browns potentially trading down from 6 to 12?
I think that it's certainly in play. Every time we talk about the Browns and Andrew Berry, we know that they love to acquire picks. They feel like more picks, more opportunities, more bites at the apple, if you will. However, I kind of have a feeling they're going to pick at 6 this year, Bull. I do. And I'm almost convinced now, and tell me if you think that I'm crazy or if you're with me on this.
Yeah.
I think they're going to take Tate.
The Browns, before I say whether I agree or disagree, I will say the Browns under Andrew Berry have been tough to predict. Like, just when you think it's going one way, it ends up going another. But that being said, I do agree with you. I'll be very surprised if it is not Tate. I just said the Browns are unpredictable, so I don't know how I could say very surprised, but I'll be a little surprised if it's not Carnell Tate.
Not to put words in your mouth, but it just seems too easy. Like it's like on a silver platter. If he's there at 6, it just makes sense. Like, we need a receiver. He's polished. He's a great kid. Comes in probably your number 1 receiver, like off the bat. Like his floor is very high. His ceiling, I don't know. It's probably higher than it is now, but he's already going to come in polished and ready to go. And I just think that it's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, in a draft where most of the top players are defensive players, and you could see, but where the Browns are likely to take an offensive player, I look at, and I'm talked about this a million times. I'm very much into best player available and not need, but we know that need factors in, whether it should or not. And I look at all these offensive linemen that people are talking about, and there's all question marks about them. Caden Proctor's too heavy. This guy is not experienced enough. This guy's played right tackle, not left tackle. At 6, I want to take a guy, yes, who I think could be a superstar, but I also want to take a guy who I don't have any legitimate question marks about. And I think there's legitimate question marks with all the offensive linemen that might be drafted at 6, and I just don't see any legitimate question marks for Carnell Tate. And if he ends up being just a very good receiver and not an absolute superstar, I could live with that. Because as much as, the goal should be to get a superstar at 8, it doesn't happen all the time. It just doesn't work that way. And I'd rather take the guy that I think there's 90% chance he's at least going to be good to very good and could still be great than a guy, who maybe has a higher chance of being elite, but has a much bigger chance of flopping. I keep seeing Caden Proctor connected with the Browns. This is a guy who was weighing 400 pounds at one point. As someone who has struggled with weight, and I know these guys are professional athletes and they're younger, but that doesn't change the fact that if you're getting up to 400 pounds, you're struggling with your weight. I can understand this. This is a lifelong issue. We've seen it with DeJuan Jones. Some guys can get it under control. Some guys can't. I know we want our offensive linemen to be big, but there is a situation where they get too big, and that makes them not as athletic and not as good. I got way too many fears about the offensive linemen here. If the Browns do take an offensive lineman, we talked about this yesterday. Joe Thomas put the thumbs up on Monroe Freeling, so I could live with that. But the Browns have so rarely taken a wide receiver in the first round. They have not drafted a wide receiver in forever that's become a good player. Josh Gordon was the last one. That was a supplemental pick, and he had all kinds of problems off the field, as we know about. Now's the time. Safe bet. Very good player. Could still become a star. In fact, I think there's a good chance he will be a star. I mean, and by the way, if you're the 7th best wide receiver in football, that's pretty damn good. There's nobody that can't tell me that there's not a chance he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver. He's got all the tools except for the elite speed. And as we've talked about before, in a perfect world, you'd have the elite speed to go on top of everything else.
Yep.
But I'll take what he brings to the table. You talked about it. The high floor, great, by all accounts, a great young man, hard worker.
Great teammate, great leader, like all those things.
Right. He's got it all. There's the track record of the Ohio State wide receivers. I'm with you. I think the pick makes so much sense. Now, it makes so much sense that it makes me nervous that the Browns will do something else. But
that it does scare me because if it like makes too much sense, I think the Browns start to question it.
Yeah, maybe.
It goes back to our old adage of like just take whatever Mel Kiper says is best available.
Yeah.
And you probably would have a better draft every year for the last 10 years. You know what I mean?
No doubt about
it. Guaranteed.
What was I going to say here? You see it there on the screen. Carnell Tate plus 180 to be the 6th overall. So, I mean, now, listen, there could be a scenario where he goes before the Browns pick. But I think in the end, he'll probably be there. I hope he'll be there. And, we'll see. I know everybody's got him as a top 10 prospect or top 12 prospect. And it just makes all the sense. He's clearly the best wide receiver in this class. So there you go. Let's see some comments here. Z says, Raps in 4?
Raptors in 4?
Oh, Raptors in we'll get to that in a minute. I'm like, Raps in 4? I thought we were talking about football. Sizzle, what quarterback do you both like the most for a day 3 pick? You got a guy in mind for a day 3 pick for the Browns?
Oh, day 3. I guess I have to pull up a list real fast just because I haven't really thought about it like that.
Yeah.
But give me like 2 seconds. Do you have one by chance?
I don't. But
I mean, I'll give you. I will have you one because I guarantee there's one that I probably called one of their games. And what
about the North Dakota State kid?
he hasn't played enough quarterback, I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, it's more of like one of those, like, you're drafting this guy because you think he's got a ton of raw talent. He
Right.
didn't play a ton for NDSU. He came in some spot duty, but he has like tremendous size. He's a great athlete. He's overall ranked according to CBS Sports' draft prospect rankings as the 93rd overall prospect.
Yeah.
And so they have him going potentially. They have him the third quarterback on the board.
Oh, really? What about Garrett Nussmeier?
Nussmeier, they have him as the 100th player, the fourth best quarterback on the board. All right, so I'm looking at some of these guys that are like late. I mean, like Talon Green out of Arkansas, I think is a very, very interesting prospect. I did one of his games 2 years ago.
What's his deal?
His deal is Arkansas wasn't very good, but
what kind of quarterback is he?
I mean, like when I watched him play,
yeah,
he actually reminded me of like he had strides like Colin Kaepernick, if that makes sense. He's like
an
a
athlete
long, he's
yeah.
6'6", 230.
Wow.
But he's like, for 230, you'd think he'd be a little thicker. I mean, maybe he's put a little weight on, but he was just a long strider, very, very good athlete, very good young man. Bobby Petrino was his offensive coordinator. We know Bobby Petrino has worked with the likes of Lamar and Teddy Bridgewater, those guys. So like that's high is a quarterback, whisperer from the college ranks. So it's something to keep an eye on for sure. I know that Mikey McNuggets from our show UCSS likes Talon Green as well.
Somebody Z says Drew Aller. Marty also says Drew Aller. I mean, he was such a disaster at Penn State.
I know, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to turn into something.
No, that's true.
He was talented.
Mark F says Carson Beck. What's your thoughts on him?
I honestly very impressed with the way he played against the Buckeyes. I thought that his performance in the playoffs was much better than I thought it was going to be. I thought that the kid was, I don't know. I sort of just judged. I don't know. I guess I'm of the mindset that when these kids just keep hopping schools for more money or whatever, it's like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, is this kid in it for just the money? Is he in it for whatever? Like, I don't know. I was impressed with his run in the playoff. I think he's going to be a late round pick, or a mid to late round pick, I should say. And I'm okay with him.
Bobby Johnson says, any chance the Browns take Ty Simpson? I don't see it. I
highly doubt it.
Yeah. Sean King told me that Ty Simpson's got talent, but he has to sit. He's not ready to play in the NFL. And that if he plays right away, it's going to be a disaster. And if you get drafted by the Browns, even if you're not the starter, it's like you're probably going to play the first year. It just seems how it always works. So I don't think he's the right fit. Now,
just doesn't seem like a big, like, really good draft class for quarterbacks.
No.
But now some of these guys could turn into whoever it may be.
I mean, Tyler Shuck and
what's the kid? Why was his name escaping me? The quarterback for San Fran, who was Mr. Relevant.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't think of it either.
Why can't I think of the kid's name?
I have no.
Thank
Purdy,
you,
Brock Purdy.
His name escaped me for some reason.
Alex.
Yeah, I mean, there may be a Brock Purdy or somebody like that in this draft. That, late round, 5th, 6th, 7th round pick that turns into a starter. Probably not going to happen right away.
I mean, even last year, again, like I know it was late 1st, 2nd round, but there was no big buzz for Tyler Shuck.
Nope.
There was big buzz for man. I'm having another brain fart. The Giants quarterback.
Oh, Dart,
right? Like the Browns could have had either one of those guys. They passed on them both. We got to see more. We got to see more, but they both look like at least starting quarterbacks. How good, we'll see. Although he took a lot of hits. And got a bunch of concussions as a rookie, which is not great. All right,
I'm guessing their new coach there, Mr. Harbaugh, who worked with Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson takes like no hits. Maybe he can teach him a couple of things.
Yeah, I'd say so. He needs to do that. I mentioned in the beginning, Z said Raps in 4, which he knows is not going to happen. Cavs, Raptors.
It's not happening. Z, come on.
Game 1 is in 2 days, 1 p.m. on Saturday. They'll play Monday, then Thursday, then Sunday. Those are the first 4 games. I picked the Cavs in 6 in this one. Cavs are favored by 8 in game 1. And for the series, the Cavs are, let's see. Well, the Cavs are plus 1,200 to win the NBA title, second best odds in the Eastern Conference. But what do you like in terms of the play tonight with the 8 points and just in the series? You taking Cavs in 6, Cavs in 5? What do you got?
I think it'll most likely be Cavs in 5. It could be 6 if the Cavs. I think what could happen is the Cavs could come out a little slow in game 1, and they could slip in game 1. That's my concern. We've got a new team. They played, as Mike said yesterday. I think our new core 4 have played, I think, total of 92 minutes
Something
together.
Like that. Yeah.
Like, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
So it may take a little time here in the playoff. That's why I'm happy that they've got the Raptors as opposed to, the Hawks or anybody else. I think this is a good matchup for the Cavs. I think stylistically, to steal a word from Nick Wilson, this is a great matchup. Cavs stink at defending the 3. The Raptors don't shoot 3s. The Raptors love the mid range. That's fine. They live in that. That's cool. We can deal with that. And they love the paint, which is great because we've got Mobley and Allen. So I think this matchup absolutely favors the Cavaliers, even though we haven't played a ton together. I'm out there with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think this should be a gentleman's sweep, but it could, if it gets muddied a little bit, it'll be Cavs in 6.
It's pretty close. Like as you see on the bottom of the screen there, we at Bet Rivers have it at Cavs in 5 as being the most likely result of the series at plus 225. A Cavs sweep is next at plus 300. I think Cavs in 6 is more likely than Cavs in 4. So if I were betting on one of these, I would bet Cavs in 6 at plus 400 because I think it's more likely to go 6 than be a sweep. But I could be crazy, and then Cavs in 7 plus 450. By the way, speaking of Nick Wilson, did you see? The guy from the guy who does those videos?
Yeah, I watched that one.
You look like you didn't like it.
Me?
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as the UCSS one.
No, the UCSS one was hilarious.
Yeah.
I just like because
it's go ahead. It's funny how they bring you into that and in with the 5 at 5 thing. And like, that's our thing, Nick. I
know. What's funny is I never actually called you you weren't still on the show. It didn't matter. But I never actually made that call to Nick. But I did think it. I was like, you probably should. Not that I care, like you can't do it because it was our thing. I was just thinking if I were them, I'd want to have something new instead of doing what we were doing. But it was funny.
What they do the lead, right?
Yeah. Which is kind of the same thing.
Which is the same thing.
But at least they changed the name.
Yeah,
which is
I honestly do not care.
I don't care either. I honestly thought just for them, I'd want, like if I were them, I'd want to do something different and not what we were doing.
Yeah. If I were them, sure, I probably would want to change it up. But but from like our standpoint, I think I'm flattered if they want to keep something.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
We did. You know what I mean?
And even though I didn't call Nick and have that conversation, I text with Nick and Jonathan almost every day.
Yeah, they're still good buddies. I see him once a week. Because I go in there.
Oh, you go in there? Yeah. Who knows? I might be going in there at some point. We may have crossed a bridge potentially. We'll see.
What? What?
I had a conversation recently with an old friend of ours.
Oh yeah, is his name his last name rhyme with Hiller?
No, not that. No.
Does his last name rhyme with Critton?
Yes. Yeah. We had a talk. So we'll see.
That's funny.
We'll see. But anyway, so all right, I got Cavs in 6. You got Cavs in 5.
Yeah.
Z's got Raptors in 4. Although
he's just being a homer.
That's right.
He's being a homer.
Mark F says Cavs drop game 1, but win in 6.
That's how it goes 6, I think.
Z says Raps history versus Cavs and versus Harden in the playoffs are terrible, but he likes this Rap squad. Mark says, my fear is the Cavs will be flat in game 1. J-Bone says, they may come out flat, but it won't last the whole game. So we shall see. A couple of quickies. Guardians lost. They played a real sloppy series against the Cardinals. They've dropped 4 of 6. So first little slump they're dealing with here that they got to break out of after getting off to a great start. They played better against the better teams. And as I said, have now dropped 4 of 6, including losing 2 of 3 to the Cardinals. No day off. I think they've only had 2 days off so far. They're playing tonight. They're back home. They got a 4-game series with the Orioles. Tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday night, all at 6:10, and then a 1:40 start on Sunday before the Astros come into town. So the next 7 days, the Guardians are home. 5 of the 7 games are at 6:10, 1:40 on Sunday, and then 1:10 on Wednesday before they get away for Toronto. Parker Messick and Shane Baz going for Baltimore. Baz has been Messick's obviously been great for the Guardians. Tanner Bybee, Chris Bassett tomorrow, Gavin Williams, Dean Kremer on Saturday, and Joey Cantillo and Trevor Rogers, who's been sensational, will go on Sunday. So that's the rotation coming up. And finally, we got a tennis comment here.
What do we got?
Brian Murphy says, Dustin, Nakashima has been playing well lately, and Clay is going to neutralize a lot of Phil's power. Feast's power. I kind of like Knock plus 3.5 games. He's going against you.
Well, I guess we'll find out at about 3 o'clock today.
All right. You dissing Nakashima.
No, listen, Nakashima could absolutely – Nakashima is undefeated head-to-head against Arthur Feast.
All right.
Feast is playing at another level right now. In my opinion, this is just – I mean, whatever. It's tennis. It's on clay. So
it's his time, huh? You think it's his time?
Well, whatever. I mean, listen. It's on clay. Clay neutralizes everything, but Arthur Feast is playing like it's just a ridiculous clip right now, and that's why I'm taking him.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's show. Folks, we got a busy week next week. In addition to our regular Tuesday and Thursday shows in the morning, Dustin will join me Thursday, probably close to midnight. We'll come on live to recap not only the first day of the NFL draft, but Game 3 of the Cavs and the Raptors. And then Dustin will be with me again Saturday morning to recap Day 2 of the draft. We'll be on live at 11 and look ahead to Day 3.
I'm with you twice on Thursday, that next Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
2 shows on Thursday. It's going to be a busy day. I'll be on live Saturday next on the podcast following Game 1, Cavs-Raptors. I'll be on UCSS today and tomorrow as well. Thanks to Drew and Alex for producing. We'll see you next time. Where else but right here with Bull and Fox in the bullpen, brought to you by Bet Rivers. See you, everybody.
See you.